Hello students, I'm Dr. Tanmay Vishwas. I welcome you all in my channel Chemistry of Molecules. I hope you all are fine. So today we are going to discuss an interesting topic named as Lawson's reagent. This thing you have observed in many reactions, but I believe this reagent is a little less I guess I haven't explained anywhere and very less explained. So we'll discuss the complete understanding. The structure is given in front of you. So today's discussion will cover a few points like the basic idea about the reagent preparation, its physical, chemical properties, smell, etc. So a lot of interesting chemistry will learn in this video. So I request you please watch the video until the end with a cool mind, because otherwise you will not be able to you will not get the maximum benefit. Okay. So by the way, I want to mention previously I have discussed in another lecture discussing about Wohlen's reagent, that you can consider the selenium analog of this. Okay, so the structure of the Wohlen's reagent, everything is same, that is PH PaC2 twice, and this is actually selective selenation purpose. Okay, so from the name you can understand that this Lawson reagent and structure, it is actually a selective sulfurization reaction where mainly the position of carbonyl into corresponding thionyl. Okay, so this is the main application. There are some other reactions we'll discuss now. So first of all, from this structure, what do you think its properties expected to be? See, phosphorus is attached to an electron-rich arene, so expected, and this bond is pretty strong. But this phosphorus sulfur one, this is actually a sigma bond, means single bond, and here there is one pi bond. So this is also a bridge fashion. So from this understanding, what we can say, this bonding is a third row element. Okay, so third row sigma bond, we can consider stronger. Relative, we can consider that okay, enough strong. Whereas if we consider the third row pi bond, means this is the we consider pi bond, that is actually weak. Why? Because improper overlap of involving orbital. See, when we consider this 2p pi bond, overlap is more compared to if you consider it say 3p. See, size is big, atoms are separated enough. So, and in case of pi bond, the electron density remains in between this, means the above and the below, not in between this nucleus. And here the sigma bond lies. So, from this thing, we can understand that they are weak or less stable. They are weak or less stable. So how you can utilize this property? If you are capable to give something which can form a stable bond with the central atom. Means if you want to use this molecule as a selective sulfur transformation reagent, then what you need? You need to give one atom which will form stronger bond with phosphorus. And in this case, oxygen is very famous. Means in this case, what is forming? Oxygen into sulfur. So, along with that, it is producing phosphorus oxygen bond. Okay, and that is the main reason for this reactivity, because if you consider this oxygen phosphorus bond, the field p orbital of oxygen can overlap efficiently with the vacant d orbital of phosphorus. Okay, and this is called actually p pi, means p pi from oxygen, p pi d pi, or someone called d pi, if I ever describe, p from oxygen and d from phosphorus, and this back bonding makes this bond stronger. So when you have this bond, this is relatively weaker, long distance, whereas this is smaller, as well as better overlap possible. That's why this bond is very stable. So if I ask you the question, what is the driving force for this reaction, you should say the formation of this stable phosphorus oxygen bond is one of the reasons. I'll say there are other factors also for this conversion. And by the way, you should remember Wittig reagent. I have already discussed Wittig reaction. In the Wittig reaction, what do you get? Carbonyl to alkene. Okay, and in this case, what is the driving force? The formation of stable phosphorus oxide. Triphenyl phosphenoxide is the byproduct, and that is the driving force for this reaction. Fine. Now, so preparation. How this molecule could be prepared? Actually, this molecule is commercially available. Point number one. But if you want to prepare in laboratory, you can prepare P2S5 plus this anisole. Okay, this anisole is nothing but phenyl methyl ether. Okay, so in their reaction, they produces this reagent. Okay, now along with that, it produces hydrogen sulfide. Why hydrogen sulfide? Just look at this one hydrogen is substituted and for adding phosphorus bond is produces. This is hydrogen and from here sulfur is produced. By the way, some of you will think that sir, this can also act as a sulfur addition reagent. You have seen many places. Then compared to this, why a new reagent development is needed? The most point is selectivity. Selectivity and mildness of the reaction condition. Okay, so this is the main 2 points I believe you should remember. Why don't we use this P2O5 directly rather than we are preparing another reagent? Okay, fine. So this is, and same problem means this phosphorus sulfur bond is there. Stability is there. Why? That's why it also reacts with carbonyl to get the final product. Now, how can we understand that this reaction is completed? When the evolution of hydrogen gas stopped and it has a interesting smell, pretty bad smell, H2S, you know. All in laboratory you have done the waste egg smell. Now H2S is produced. So from this reaction mixture, how this pure compound is produced? By actually recrystallization. This reaction mixture is recrystallizes in toluene or xylene or such kind of solvent. Benzene also you may consider, but it is better to avoid benzene because benzene is highly carcinogenic, where toluene is not that much, xylene is not, because in side chain they have alkyl group, means methyl group, and which that's why they are less harmful. So what happens? This reaction mixture, these react in presence of this thing, they crystallizes. And remember, crystals are highly pure. So that's why you can get the direct reagent. And by the way, a simple question may come in your mind, sir, phosphorus oxygen like P2O5, those things, soluble in polar solvent. Then in case of this P2S5 or whatever we using, that is ARPS2, this is soluble in toluene. A question may come. This is because, see, sulfur are soft center, relatively less polar. That's why it prefers to be soluble in solvent like toluene rather than other polar solvents. Second, if you for example add water, what is expected? Water means HOH, and there is a chance of phosphorus oxygen bond formation, so it will destroy the reagent, and ultimately what it will result? Phosphorus oxygen bond, along with that this sulfur may come out as a H2S. So that is the thing we need to be careful. Now we understand this thing, and one thing remember, when generally sulfur compounds are utilized in laboratory or you handle, there is a bad smell comes. So this thing should be kept in mind while such kind of compound is used in a laboratory for reaction purposes. Okay, because maybe you are doing the reaction, but other people get extremely irritated because of the nasty smell of this compound. Fine. So we have understood this. Now it's a time to discuss about the properties of this reagent. What chemical properties? First of all, this reaction happens. How? Mechanism of the process. So see, this reagent actually during the reaction converted into the monomer. What do I mean? Monomer is actually this remain everything same, one phosphorus, this, okay, and it has a canonical form possible. As I told that this phosphorus sulfur double bond is not that much stable. By the way, see, this phosphorus is penta bonded, means here the 2 bond, here 3 bond, so this is penta, logically fine, but actually this is not that much stable. Why? Because phosphorus sulfur pi bond I told unstable, so what happened? It can open up. Now it resulted in this is S, this is S minus, this is. So now some interesting thing you need to understand. What do I mean? See, this phosphorus, if you look at the electronegativity series, first phosphorus then sulfur, so sulfur is more electronegative, so consequently we can expect sulfur will be delta positive and phosphorus will be sulfur will be delta negative, and phosphorus is expected to be delta positive when they are bonded together. But so from that thing we can say this is, but phosphorus is significant electronegative because it is a nitrogen group, so we can say this is electron deficient, or in technical term you can say electrophile, and this is electron rich. You can consider this is as a nucleophilic. Okay, now look at this molecule. Look at this molecule. See, this center is electrophilic, this center is, this is actually a nucleophile, and this is electrophile. Okay, so from this what is expected? First this will go and coordinate to the phosphorus center. So this is Ar, P, S minus plus. So it will coordinate with this lone pair, and ultimately what it result? It will result this formal positive charge will be there on oxygen. So here one S minus, this is double bond S, and this is Ar. Air means para-methoxybenzene, you can consider. So after this coordination, this center become very much electrophilic, electron deficient, and consequently what happened? These will attack. See, such kind of 4-member ring formation you have observed in case of Wittig reaction also. So try to recapitulate, it will help you to remember both of the chemistry. This is Ar, this is S, this is. Now, as I told, the phosphorus oxygen bonding and bond is very strong. So what you can expect? That they will undergo some kind of breaking. This bond is not that much strong, whereas this bond is very strong. So what will happen? That it will come here, it will come. So in this case what it will result? It will result this C double bond S plus Ar phosphorus oxygen. This is the sulfur, this is oxygen, double bond here. And by the way student, one point you please remember, instead of this one, another structure could be presented in your discussion or exam paper, that is a 6-member ring. What do I mean? See, this compound can undergo trimerization. Trimerization means 3 molecules will join together, form a ring. And by the way, on trimerization I have already discussed a dedicated lecture. If you are interested, then go and visit. So what happens? This phosphorus oxygen forms a bond. What they do? For example, if this is phosphorus, this is oxygen. You can write in this way: phosphorus, oxygen, phosphorus, oxygen. Now phosphorus is attached to Ar. Oxygen is only attached to phosphorus, no problem. Not only that, phosphorus is attached to sulfur also. This. So this is the actual structure of trimer. See, it is also a pentavalent. In this case also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this trimer can also be represented. Now question may come, why this trimerization reaction will occur? Because we know cyclization is associated with the loss of entropy, but this reaction occurs because, see, 1, 2. So 2 phosphorus is bonded to, sorry, 2 oxygen is bonded to phosphorus. Since the oxygen phosphorus bonding resulted stabilization, you can consider this is more stabilization. Okay, so this is more stabilization compared to this one. So that's why this step will occur. Okay, so this is actually the mechanism of this process. Now, question comes about the substrate scope or functional group reactivity. See, actually this reagent is milder and reaction condition generally it's mild. Okay, so and remember generally A star reacts means not that much faster. So in this case what we have learned during the mechanism, 2 factors important. First of all, this is nucleophilic attack on phosphorus. So point 1, nucleophilic attack on phosphorus, and second is nucleophilic attack on carbon. Means this is done by oxygen and the sulfur attacks this. So not only the phosphorus center, remember the bulkness on this is also a matter. Okay, if it is more bulky, it is expected that it will react slowly. So these are the 2 factors. Actually, I am not giving you everything that much details, but this. So what groups can react? Actually, what groups conversion possible? This is ketone or aldehyde, whatever. Second is amide, means you can see this or whatever, better to say that common, or ester. Okay, so such kind of compound could be converted, and what conversion will occur? This will be converted to corresponding sulfur. Okay, so this is the first. And remember, compared to this open chain, lactones are more reactive than esters. Same thing also possible for amide. They are lactam. Okay, like beta lactam, penicillin, try to remember. So they are also thing. So this is the overall understanding. Now, question, this is the part 1 about the reactivity of this Lawson's reagent for selective sulfur attachment on the carbonyl. This molecule has another application also. Another application, and I believe it's a very important application, that is selective formation of thiophene. What do I mean? Friends, I have discussed previously that, please visit that lecture, 1,4-dicarbonyl compound. They are the parent precursor for the preparation of 5-member heterocyclic compound. Okay, and why this is formed? Aromaticity, remember, is one of the very important factor for this reaction. Okay, X is equal to oxygen, sulfur, or NH or NR, whatever. Now this reaction could be achieved using this sulfur. How? See, if you take this, sorry, let me write LR, Lawson's reagent. What happens? I have discussed, so I am not going to explain again. It will result this and this CC rotation possible. So you can consider S, or it could be oxygen, both possible. Just for your better understanding, I am saying this. So what will happen? See, this is a selective reaction, it will happen. Okay, sorry. By the way, this carbon sulfur double bond is also not stable. Okay, previously carbon oxygen double bond was there, right now carbon sulfur. But based on this specific design reagent, Lawson reagent, you made this reaction, but it is not that much stable. So what happened? This goes and attack. Okay, so in this way, what it will result? See, students, please follow a strategy. Numbering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I believe this is a very good strategy. Numbering system. So draw a 5-member ring. Now place 2 here. This is, and 1 is sulfur. So 3, 4, 5. 5 is also a carbon attached to the sulfur. Okay, so this is S minus. See, it was double bond. So right now sulfur has a formal positive charge on it. So in next step, what is expected? In next step, see, a tautomerization possible. Tautomerization means there is one proton here and this could be shifted, so it could be neutralized. So whatever the ultimate structure is, this is sulfur neutral. Second, okay, fine. Second, this is S. See, now this sulfur has lone pair and this can also abstract proton. Okay, what do I mean by this? Because see, there was one proton which is abstracted by whom? Some bases. That base could be such kind of S minus, so it could be converted into SH. Now in what it will result? It will push and it will leave. So what it will result? Sulfur this. Again sulfur has positive charge. Now question in next step, what is possible? There are 2 hydrogens. So one could be abstracted by some other S minus and it will come here, it will open up. So in this case, what it will result? It will result in sulfur. Okay, and the driving force is 0.1 aromaticity, and another thing previously, in this case that was a spark, but in this case driving force is aromaticity. So in these waves, these sulfur based compounds these thiophene derivatives are produced, and the most important thing, this aromaticity is the driving force of this molecule. So this is the overall discussion, and now I will give you the reference of this problem. Okay students, so you can see the reference. The reference is given because if you want to learn more about this, please visit this review paper, you will have a more knowledge. So in today's discussion, we have learned about Lawson's reagent, its preparation, chemistry, and its mechanism associated with 2 processes. First of all, selective sulfur introduction means C double bond S, and second is aromaticity. So this is the end of this discussion. If you really like my teaching, please help my channel to grow. First of all, subscribe my channel Chemistry the Mystery of Molecule, and please press the bell icon to get the notification of every single video I upload. Secondly, write your opinion in the comment box and pass this video over your friends so that they can also enjoy the benefit. And most importantly, if you are capable, please support me through Patreon, because without your support it is very difficult for me to upload such kind of videos for you. So thank you again, stay happy, stay blessed, see you in my next video.